Hello and welcome to the Energetics of Business podcast, where we bridge the gap between the woo-woo and the tech. My name is Michelle Douglas and I'm an energetic alignment expert helping entrepreneurs to tap into their inner power and create a business that flows with ease and authenticity. In each episode, we'll dive into the strategies that blend soulful alignment with practical business know-how. Now, let's dive in and align your business from the inside out. Why, hello there, it's Michelle Douglas here from energeticsofbusinesshub.com, and today we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs again, because they impact on every life area, including business, your relationships, your financial situation, your health, and so on. So why do limiting beliefs develop, and how do I break free? And that's a big question for a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there who have this underlying belief that I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or I can't do what she's doing because look at her and look at me. I'm not at her standard, that sort of thing. And that's a real common one, especially for people who are in business. And these beliefs sneak into your mind and they drive your unconscious behavior, which in turn creates an outcome that doesn't match what you actually want. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. So what are limiting beliefs? Well, they're thoughts or ideas that tell you what's not possible. They act like little invisible brick walls, preventing you from being able to pursue your dreams or go for what you want. And they also prevent you seeing what's truly available to you, all those possibilities. And the worst part is that you're usually not even aware when you let them drive the bus. So why do limiting beliefs develop in the first place? Well, they come from several places. First, it'll be past experiences. Now, this could be past experiences in this lifetime or even in past lives, which is a whole other podcast episode, I think. But yeah, they can come from a bad result that happened once before, and it somehow causes you to believe that this is your destiny forever. And unfortunately, your brain latches onto that and it drives that behavior so you can avoid that negative experience next time. Another thing is societal conditioning. So have you ever been told you should do something, or people like you can't achieve certain things, that only people who are like this or come from this social standing or from this environment can succeed in life? And finally, early messages. So childhood is a very fertile growing ground for negative beliefs. Even though you were a child, and this is from birth up until age 7, you are completely open and everything goes in as truth. So if you constantly heard your parents talking about a lack of money, for example, you're going to take on a lot of those negative beliefs. So in your day-to-day life, how do these limiting beliefs actually show up? And they can show up in ways that you might not even realize. So I'm going to just run through a couple of examples. So the first one will be negative self-talk. A lot of the time you won't even be aware you are talking to yourself negatively. It's so common. So many people do it. It's just like, I can't, I'm not smart enough. I'll never be able to get there. No matter how hard I try, nothing ever works, that sort of thing. And then under the surface, you may not even be fully conscious that you're actually doing this or allowing this talk to happen in your mind. What you may also find is that you avoid doing things. You procrastinate or steer away from opportunities because you fear you're going to fail or blow something up or something like that. Or you may settle, so accepting less than what you deserve. And in the relationship space, this is really common. A lot of people tend to settle for what they have because they don't think there's any better out there. And that's obviously a limiting belief that's driving that need to settle as opposed to going for what you actually want. So how do you clear those limiting beliefs and align with abundance? The first thing you can do is work with someone like myself. I'll dig through all of those limiting beliefs that are not only just below the surface, but those that are deep, deep down that you're really not conscious of at all. That's probably the quickest and most effective way to address them. If that's not an option for you, I'm going to go through some little things you can do to get started in addressing those limiting beliefs. So the first thing to do will be to admit that you are stuck in the first place. The first step to changing anything is to recognize that it's actually there. So if you feel stuck or frustrated, admit it. If you catch yourself with that negative self-talk, acknowledge that you are doing it. And there's no shame in that. In fact, it's actually the first step to clearing those limiting beliefs. So further to the first one, notice when those beliefs are popping into your mind. So start paying attention to the thoughts running in your head, and you will start to notice whether there are some repeated things happening in there. So if you've got any thoughts running on repeat in your mind, acknowledge them to start with and ask yourself if they are serving you or not, and write down the ones that seem to come up most often. Again, it's the awareness that's a good start to address those limiting beliefs. The next thing is to ditch the I can't mentality. So every time you hear yourself saying, I can't do this or I can't do that, ask yourself, why not? And another thing I suggest to a lot of my clients is ask yourself, what is the very worst thing that could happen if I gave this a go? And maybe you'll need to start with something small and then gradually start building up to bigger things. But that might be a good start for you to step out of that I can't mentality. Another thing you can do is reframe that into I'm learning how to do whatever it is. Number 4 is to act as if. Now, this is a bit different to the fake it till you make it, because in this day and age, authenticity is really, really important. But pretend you've already achieved whatever it is you wanted to achieve in life. You are living that life full on, and think about how you would live your day. So how would you walk? How would you talk? What would you do differently? Start doing that now, and even in small ways. It doesn't mean to say that you go out and spend $50,000 on the latest handbag, because that would be a bit silly. But if you've got some big goals, visualize them as already done, and imagine what it is you would do if you had that thing manifested already, and become that person. Now, when you do this, what it actually does is create an energetic shift. And that energetic shift starts to attract people, things, circumstances, opportunities, and so forth that align with that new energy. So it's really important that you spend a lot of time living as if it's already happened, and it will serve you really, really well. Just don't go and hurt yourself in the process. Another great way to step out of limiting beliefs, even though it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with it, is to go and do a declutter. Clear the clutter, whether that be mental clutter, emotional, or even physical. So clean your desk, clean your office, maybe a corner of a bedroom, maybe a chest of drawers that you've got there that needs a good clean out. This moves the stagnant energy. And when we've got stagnant energy, that doesn't support growth. So yeah, if you clean out that clutter, that's actually going to help you. And a clear space creates clear energy. The next thing to do is to practice daily gratitude. So gratitude I do every day. So I've got my little diary over to the side here where I write down 5 things I'm grateful for every single day. And even throughout the day, if something really good happens, I look to the heavens and I say, thank you so much. And I bring in that really strong feeling of gratitude into my entire body. I let it run through my whole body. Always feels good to do something like that. One big thing I like about gratitude is that the more you are in the energy of gratitude, the more circumstances, people, things, opportunities, and so forth that you attract into your life that you could feel grateful for. So yeah, gratitude's a big one. Number 7 is aligned action. So taking aligned action, and I'm big on action, is about taking an action that is obviously in alignment with your goal. So if your goal is to succeed in business, an aligned action might be something about doing some content creation or going to a networking event, that sort of thing. And if you've ever worked with me in the Akashic Records space, aligned action is also to do with you at the level of the soul. So if you're taking action that's in alignment with you at soul level, as well as what's in alignment with your successful business, then you're going to create an outcome that looks very pretty. So yeah, definitely do that. And you can also start small too. Taking small steps in the right direction will get you there at some point. So yeah. Number 8 is to celebrate wins. And this kind of links into gratitude as well. So celebrate all of your wins, and they can be big or small. And, even if it's just about putting a piece of content out there that you were terrified of doing, or sending an email, or following up on a prospect, every little one helps. And this links into the gratitude in the fact that you're focusing on the positives and the good things. So when you are celebrating those wins, fill yourself with gratitude as well. So number 9 is about rinsing and repeating. You've got to remember that all of these beliefs have been built up over years or even lifetimes if we're talking about past lives as well. So it's not going to be a 5-second one and done job. So keep doing the work. Maintain awareness of what's going through your mind at any given point of the day. You might even want to set an alarm to remind you to check in with how you're feeling in that moment. And every time you clear a limiting belief, there may be another one under that onion layer that you've just peeled off, and that's okay. Just keep going, because it's all about progress, not perfection. And number 10 is to trust that success is closer than you think. So more often than not, a breakthrough is just on the other side of what I call chaos. So trust that by aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with abundance, and success will eventually follow. But you've got to maintain that consistency so that you can allow it to manifest into your physical reality. And my final thoughts on this one is that shifting out of limiting beliefs and into abundance doesn't have to be hard or complicated. Yes, it is much quicker if you work with me, but it's up to you. It is a simple process. It just takes some time, especially if you've got some really deep unconscious belief systems running the show or driving the bus in there that you're not aware of at all. So that's where I come in. And speaking of which, if you really want to go deeper and finally clear those limiting beliefs for good, head over to energeticsofbusinesshub.com. Go to the Work With Me page and you'll see the Aligned Abundance Breakthrough Program in there, where over several weeks we'll address where your energy sits in relation to abundance and success. And we'll do a bit of an Akashic Records focus so you understand how you are wired as an individual soul. We'll also then go into the limiting belief systems that are preventing you from achieving success in whatever life area you want to succeed in. So head over there. I look forward to working with you, and let's chat soon.